How do parents impart their beliefs and their values? My mom especially was very clear about all of her civics lessons on how to be a citizen. Looking back, that is probably where she left her most indelible mark. I remember when I was about 7, right about this time in history, long ago, television was just invented. If you can believe it, it hasn't been around forever. And on TV was a special on poverty in America. I was really moved by that special. I was really kind of blown over that this country would allow people in this country to go hungry. And I was obviously sort of thrashing around with this whole idea of people being hungry. And my mom said, when you're concerned about something, do something. I was 7. I was just really learning how to write and such. She sat me down, pencil, not pen, pencil and paper, to write a letter, probably to the president, about this issue. This is when LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, was pushing legislation forward for the war on poverty. That's no doubt why they had this special. So that was one very pronounced way that my mom was beginning to say, you do something when you have a concern. When I was about 11, every one of us, American history was taught in 5th grade. And my mom did kind of an auxiliary lesson to accompany that curriculum. She, when we were in 5th grade, she would sit each of us down for a long talk on, it was titled, we all called it this, What Made America Great? And you'd be sitting there in the living room with her. She would have gotten all her stuff to camp out for a long talk. She had a whole pack of cigarettes, and she would be punctuating the lecture with long, blowing smoke to emphasize what she was saying, what made America great. To her, what made America great was immigrants. Her father had immigrated from Scotland to Canada. On her mother's side, she was sort of a mongrel, and so had a great grandfather from the Dolomites, a miner. So each person in her lineage really sort of shone through as she gave this long talk on what made America great. She told the story of how her friend's father, who was also from Scotland, was really short and would hang by the door jamb to try and stretch out. And her friend's father would always be going on and on and on about how great Scotland was. And one time my mother said to him, if Scotland was so great, why did you leave it? And he said, we were so hungry. We were starving. We left. We had to. So I began to get what my mom was thinking along these lines because she made it so very clear. It mattered so very much to her that we move this country forward. And so by age 16, but more pronouncedly like age 20, my mom would assign us, all of us, different tasks. We were supposed to work on certain causes or campaign for certain people. Her way of thinking was she had spent a lot of time and energy raising her kids, and now she could finally sit down and rest, and we were supposed to take up the baton. So she would tell you, she would have her little list. She always was a list writer. She would have all of her daughters' names on it, and she would check off when she had told you. She would always start the sentence with, yes, I want all of my daughters to work on blah-de-da. And check, talk to you about it, check. So, and she would check back about it. When there would be a family dinner and we were all coming from far and wide for it, I would come about 2 hours to get to her house, and she would meet you at the front door. She would open the front door, but the screen she would hold shut. And she would ask, did you work on blah-de-da? Or did you campaign for so-and-so? Usually, when you arrived at her house for dinner, she was finally sitting after a whole afternoon of 3 hours of cooking, the best cooking you could imagine. If there were a event in the Olympics for cooking, she would have been a gold medalist. She loved doing it, but finally she would get to sit down and read the newspaper while everybody kind of dribbled in. So it was noteworthy that she would meet you at the front door to ask, because if you had not done what you were assigned, she would not let you in. I never checked that and challenged that. I always did what was assigned. So I got in because her strawberry shortcake was the best. And in strawberry season, I knew for sure that I really wanted to get in the door for that. So she imparted these things very intentionally, very deliberately. It was not just haphazard. She was going through her little checklist. And what's interesting now she's in heaven looking down upon us. What's interesting, the sisters are spread throughout the country. But when certain things happen in the world, we all move on it. If we have a concern, we do something because it was so clear. Her lesson, her civics lesson, was so clear. And all I can say to her now is thank you for that civics lesson.
When did she sail across the sea with her white sails flying? Westward breeze with her bow riding high like the proudest of things, the loveliest thing her heart will bring. Well, did she Today she will